One day we're going to have thousands of people lined up there.
I agree.
Yeah.
In the comment section.
And it's amazing. What is my hair doing over here?
Your hair is doing what it wants.
It always does what it wants.
It's all natural.
Yeah.
It's just naturally cookie.
Anyway.
You doing all right though?
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm sleeping better.
Good.
I had a couple of rough days. But you told me to back off one of the mushrooms that I'm on.
And that helped.
It helped.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah. And actually when I didn't mean for you to do both of them together, I guess I didn't clarify that.
That's all right.
So we always do one at a time.
Other.
Right.
Well, here's something to tell you.
But you saw the power of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like Susie's like, your mood, you're so much more relaxed. I'm like, I'm telling you, it's the power of the mushroom. She goes, are they magic mushrooms? I said, no, they're legit. Claudia sells them. And what else? What else was I going to tell you? Yeah, I can tell you during our podcast time.
All right.
And we are live, of course. We have, look at that, 3 people, and we already got a thumbs up. We haven't even done anything.
Yay.
Why are you giving us a thumbs up? Oh, Shan, she listens in, where is she? She is in San Diego. Where
thank you so much.
3 hours earlier. So what is it?
Shan, that's wonderful. Thank you so much.
And
that's terrific.
Yeah, she's a really good person. And
yeah.
We really like her.
We appreciate it.
All right. Let's do what we do. No guests today. Straight up, Claudia. I kind of like that. I love that.
You and I talking.
Here we go. Chilling, hanging out. Remember, comments, put them in the, or questions, put them in the comments, and we see them, and we'll get your questions. Here we go. Good Health by Claudia, podcast with me, Denny Schaefer, a production of Denny Radio. Not only a podcast, it's also Facebook Live right now. It is episode 13. Yay! Digestive health. Our conversation continues.
Yes.
We're going to be discussing more wonderful products that we'll be showing you online, and you'll hear about it if you're on the podcast. According to the NIH, their website, it's estimated that 60 to 70 million of us have digestive issues of some sort. And that's pretty unfortunate and staggering, to say the least. It certainly makes sense because when a nation is raised on refined, chemicalized, no fiber, sugary foods, something is bound to happen.
That's right.
The end result has taken decades to truly show itself. But here it is. And as always, nature offers us the true tools for support and balance. So you're probably like me, one of the 60 to 70 million of us. Although I am... Since we started doing this podcast, all those episodes ago, probably October, I think we started.
Right.
My diet and the way I feel has changed drastically. I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
Yep.
My energy is better. My mood is better. Anxiety is pretty much nil. Of course, I probably just jinxed myself by saying that. It's truly making a difference in my life.
But it's so cool that
it really is. I'm eating to my blood type.
Yep.
And I'm following your tutelage, your guidance, Claudia. So we don't have a guest today. As much as I love our guests, I like it when it's just Claudia in the raw, when it's just you and you're bringing your knowledge to the people. It's so beneficial.
Thank you.
And we're thankful that you do this.
Well, thank you.
All right.
So I'm thankful we're doing it together because
I am too.
It's very cool.
It's fun. I love our chemistry. All right. So I want to give you an update before we go down the road.
Okay.
Last week, I went down, you started me on a cleanse.
Yes.
The Vital Cleanse.
The Vital Cleanse.
And it's 1 week later and I feel so much better and I've lost 4 pounds.
Wow.
And I'm not even trying. I'm just still eating to my blood type.
Yep.
I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
Yep.
I don't feel like I want more. Like the other night, I made dinner for my wife and daughter. My son's off at college. And so I made chicken. And then I did a bunch of veggies. I did broccoli, cauliflower.
Beautiful.
And what else was there? Mushrooms. I forgot the onions. Duh. I love onions.
Yep.
They're not real big fans of onions, but maybe I was supposed to. And it was delicious.
Yep.
And it was so satisfying.
Yes.
So that's the part that when you start rearranging your eating habits.
Exactly.
In the past, when I've been on diets, and I don't call this a diet, I call it a lifestyle change.
Exactly.
I want to eat better because the result is I feel better.
Exactly.
And that's huge. So that's the part that has been most surprising to me is how much better I feel.
Yep.
My concentration is better. And as you know, because you and I battled this in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was on Ritalin.
Yes.
ADD, attention deficit disorder, hyperactivity.
Which of course I call the American diet disease.
It is.
I've said that for
oh,
years.
it is. So since I've changed that, I still was doing it. Okay.
Yep.
And then once I got on the mushrooms,
Yeah.
I noticed a level of concentration I had never felt before.
Mm-hmm.
So what did I do? I stopped taking the Ritalin. It's been 3 weeks. I don't miss it. I don't need it. And I'm thankful to you because I didn't think it was more of a crutch. It's like, oh, got to take this right before work,
Right.
give me focus. And now I don't take it. I don't miss it. I don't think about it. And it's wonderful. So there is
Good work.
my update.
I'm really proud of you. And here's the thing, and you always hear me say this, we never tell anyone to stop their meds.
No,
ever.
You never said it. You
and
never
we never said it. But
Nope.
It's fair to say over the years, thousands of people have said exactly what you're saying. They felt so much better that they decided to quit their meds. So it's not something that we're telling people to do, but the end result was people start cleaning up their diet, really putting that flora back in, focusing on gut health. I always remind people, everything starts in the gut. So when the brain starts here, you better clean it up here, which is what you've done. It's awesome. I'm so proud of you and I'm happy for you.
Well, thank you. I don't hear that very often. All right. So my wife is watching and listening, and she says, I can attest to the mood change. Looks like a happy, smiling face emoji.
Nice.
He's obsessed.
Oh.
I'm obsessed with, I get my steps in. I get in over 8,000 steps every day.
Yeah.
And like they wanted to go out to dinner and I'm like, nah, I don't want to go out to dinner. You guys go have girl night. I'm going to make me a really nice salad.
Yep.
And, watch ESPN.
Yep.
So that's
you.
what I'm doing. I'm feeling better. And
Yep.
I don't want the temptation. Although I went out to dinner last night and there was no temptation. I feel like I'm getting stronger. And here's the reason why. And if you don't remember anything, remember this today, people. I am a man of schedule and regiment. I don't like to stray from it. I just don't. And with this new healthy way of living and eating, it's now become such a routine for me. I'm a man of routine and it's so much easier. But here's why I don't dread or miss the other stuff. Because the end result is I'm feeling better.
Right.
I have more energy.
Right.
Less anxiety and depression. And it's all because you started me out with number one, probiotic.
Yep.
And you've been adding stuff.
Yep.
I've been watching what I'm eating. I'm eating the things I'm supposed to. And the stuff I'm not supposed to, maybe once a week.
Yep.
I stay away from all red meat, which I thought I would really miss. I mean, every now and then I'm going to have a piece of bacon. I'm here to tell you.
Yeah.
Bacon will always be somewhere in my life, but I don't do it with regularity. I was eating ice cream and cookies and brownies every night because I thought, well, I'm working out.
Right.
My weight's not going up. Right. So treat yourself. Well, that's a silly way to look at it. So now that my thinking has changed,
yes,
it's become so easy. So let me say that to you that are watching and listening. Let that be an encouragement. If you don't think you can change and eat better and live a better, healthy lifestyle, you're looking and listening to the guy who was just like you, who wouldn't give it up. And I cut it down. I may have ice cream once a week. And I just saw that Ben & Jerry's just came out with a vegan ice cream. You guys carry ice cream? I'm just going to start going.
Dairy-based, vegan-based, we carry it all.
I'm going to go in and I'm just going to get me a nice little treat of something once a week.
Yep.
My daughter works at Handles. It's an awesome ice cream place. Yep. She would always bring me home, spots like a house. And I cut that out too.
Yeah.
Because I know the end result is nobody wants to sip a little poison every day. I know that sounds dramatic. But it sounds dramatic though.
But it's very true.
It is true.
And people need to understand, even though it does sound dramatic, at the end of the day, you are proof. And there's many people out there over the years that have, been on this journey as you were doing. You do it in baby steps. And when you get rid of those poisons, it changes everything.
Yeah.
So remember, we always remind people, either the good bacteria is running the joint or the bad guys are running the joint.
Right.
And when the bad guys are running the joint,
Fatigue, anxiety, depression,
exactly,
sadness, cravings. I don't crave.
So that's what we teach people. The longer that you're on this beautiful journey, and again, it changes lives. I mean, this is what we've heard thousands of times over the years. It changes lives. And the longer you're on this journey, the more you won't want things that you might want now. You won't want them.
So I think too.
But here's one
Okay,
other
go
thing
ahead.
I just want to tell you. In learning in baby steps. So once in a while you have some bacon.
There it is.
But the next step is to eat the kind of bacon that we sell.
Right.
So it's from animals that were raised properly without antibiotics. They were, out in the elements. They weren't abused. They weren't caged up. And it's a cleaner product. And the end result doesn't have any nitrates, MSG. I mean, nitrates, we know very clearly years ago were linked to many forms of cancer. So, you're taking it in baby steps.
Right.
And that's it's a beautiful thing.
So I think the thing that's important is in the past, and I've been on many diets, so many fad diets, and I would go 250, 255 at my heaviest. And then I would get all the way down to 200. Right now I'm 210, 210.
Yeah.
I'd like to get to 200.
But you look great.
Thank you. And I'd like to stay like right around 200 because I'm 6'3". That's about what I should weigh. In the past, though, when I was on certain diets and eating regimens, in the back of my mind was, I can't ever enjoy some of the treats I really like bacon, like an ice cream, or because I have a sweet tooth. But I know that every now and then I can still have that. And that changes my mindset. I'm not going to, because you get defeated and it's like, oh, I got to eat this for dinner.
And you don't.
I never thought I'd get excited about broccoli. I really love broccoli and vegetables more than I ever thought because I'm eating them. I'm preparing them differently. And they're so fulfilling and satisfying. I'm not missing, the other stuff. And so you got that in the back of your mind. You don't feel like you're a slave to whatever health regimen you have set up for you. So I think the baby steps, and that's what I had dinner last night with a friend of mine, and he was telling me about, he's dealing with tinnitus, the ringing in the ears, anxiety, fatigue. He's just, blah. And I asked him about, vitamins. I said, you don't need vitamins? Nope. He goes, they don't work. I said, how do you know that? Because I've tried them and they don't work. And I said, well, maybe you're doing the wrong stuff. You go into a store and you buy a bunch of vitamins and all this stuff. It may not be vitamins like your vitamins, like natural and good products and things that are good for you.
Right.
And by the way, he's going to come in and see you this weekend.
Wonderful.
And you're going to get him set up.
Wonderful.
And I said, get ready. The first thing is going to be a probiotic. And little things, you're not going to, I said, she's not going to give you, okay, what is going on here with my, did we lose our camera here? Looks like your camera got unplugged. Oh, I got excited. I might have bumped it. Hold on, people. Let me see if I can get us back. And hold on, let me unplug it and plug it back in. My apologies, everyone listening and watching. The audio is still there, but the video is not.
That's okay. We can keep talking.
Well, we can, but it would be nice to have the video too so people can look. I mean, your hair does look good today. All right, let me unplug it and put it in somewhere else.
All right.
Let me try this. Let me hit refresh and see what happens. Hopefully we don't reload.
These are little things in life.
All right. So if there's somebody out there that's watching, if you can still hear us, put it under comments that, yes, you can hear us. And if that's the case, we'll just continue.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. So let's wait till we have somebody comment. Shan, if you're listening, or if my wife is still there, Yes, we're back. So you can hear us, but you probably can't
Oh,
see
good.
us.
Well, thank you for letting us know,
Yeah, I
Sean.
don't know what's going on. All of a sudden we're working and rolling and
I hear you,
then we
but
got
no
nothing.
video. Yeah.
All right, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly. You can
Yeah.
hear us. All right.
Thank
So
you.
today we're just going to do it with
All right.
audio.
That's okay.
So here we go. So
okay.
where were we?
Okay. So this is what I want to say. I think back when I was in my 20s, when in working with people, I used to say to them, listen, you got to change everything overnight right now. And of course, that was foolish. It doesn't work that way. People change slowly. And that's why over the years, in working with so many people, I learned you do it in baby steps. And when people do it on a daily basis, and I tell them, just do the best you can. Just have it in your heart. Be mindful. Walk it every day. Do the best you can. This is where we see amazing and beautiful change. With someone like your friend, we have a lot of people that they're taking all this stuff, but they're not feeling the benefit. And what we see a lot, you have a lot of people now buying supplements off the internet. They have no clue what they're doing with them. And there's no game plan. And that's what I believe, what I'm so proud of and grateful for in working with so many people. We know the game plan. We know that you got to start here. And slowly we keep adding in and we're guiding people according to their needs. So it becomes a whole different way of approaching it. And that's why we see so many wonderful results. But, all of these, there's so many people out there now learning that gut health is important. But a lot of people are confused. They don't know where to start. That's why you've heard me say, and I will always, until somebody comes along with a protocol that makes better sense to me, I will always guide people to eat according to their blood type, because we see the most benefit in hundreds and hundreds of people from eating according to their blood type. So, and we talk about it all day long at the store. Yesterday, we probably guided 12 people to it. And, so it's a big deal. So learning to take the stress off the gut ultimately is taking the stress off the brain, the immune system, and the endocrine system. And that's all the stuff that's running the body.
Now, here's something else I want to mention too, because so many people, you're right, they go right to the internet and they buy up all this stuff and they have no clue.
Right.
That's why it's important to go to Claudia's and have a consultation or talk to your staff, because it's not just you. Your staff is amazing.
Thank you.
They're intelligent and because you're busy, so it's not like everybody can come in and see you. So rest assured that when you go in there and you're talking to somebody, it's just like talking to you.
Well, that's because we work at it. We learn together. It's important to me that we're all on the same page. I mean, we've had, meetings as a team for years, and there's so much to go over, and we learn together. And so anyway, I'm very proud of the team. Thank you for saying that. Many of them, worked at Bassett's over the years, and now they're with us. So we all had some very good training in the beginning from Pat and Joe Bassett, because anyone that knew them, that was an iconic store when it was in Westgate. And they were leaders in the United States of natural health. Some of the greats walked through those doors. And that's why I'm so grateful as a young woman. I was there to learn from them and meet them. So thank you about my team. I really appreciate that. They're all very heartfelt, beautiful. But I do want to say, it's, there's wonderful health food stores all over the United States. And it's very sad because at one time in the heyday of our industry, there were over 10,000 stores. We're down to under 3,000. That's a serious issue, because the knowledge is in those stores.
Right.
So find a store wherever someone is in their neck of the woods and go to them, support them, learn from them.
Mom and pops.
Absolutely.
All right. Kelly has a question. Claudia, do you carry castor oil, rose hip oil, black seed oil, and neroli, Neroli?
Yep, we carry all of that.
I heard this combination was good for hair and skin.
They're all very nourishing oils. And yes, we do carry all of them. So if you come in, we have a beautiful aromatherapy section. We've been doing, it's funny. I always say health food stores are the leaders, right? We were doing all this stuff before everybody started learning about it on the internet. So, we've been doing aromatherapy before most people even knew what the word was. So we're proud of the fact our oils are very clean. We have a great selection. So thank you for asking. And yes, if you come in, my team will guide you.
All right, Kelly. It's Health Foods by Claudia, 3904 Secor Road, Toledo. Google it. Go see her this weekend. Go now. They're open. All right. You brought a bunch of products. We're not going to be able to show them, obviously.
Right. We're not going to be able to show them.
Because
I
kicked the camera out because
okay.
I was so excited to be on with you. What do you got? Okay, and let's talk about it.
So I just, the reason that we put in this beginning statement of what you read, I want people to think about this. The NIH, and you can go to their website, it's right there, that they estimate that 60 million to 70 million people have digestive distress of some sort.
Wow.
That's a lot. Oh, here we are.
Look at that. We're back.
That's a lot of people.
That is.
And it's very sad because years ago we used to see digestive distress in 50-year-olds and 60-year-olds, and then it went to 40-year-olds, and then it went to 30-year-olds, and now it's at the 20-year-olds. And now we're seeing babies being prescribed antacids.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very terrible situation, not only for the people that are dealing with this, but especially for the children of our nation. Where does that leave them? What quality of life are they going to have if they're being prescribed meds by the time they're 6 months old, a year? So, we always remind people, bifidus, one of the main floras, that's one of the main floras that comes from breast milk to a newborn. So that's why in a formula like what you're taking, there's lots of strains of bifido. Bifidus in a newborn is extremely important for their digestive system, their immune system, their brain. And we know that millions of let's face it, in the 60s, women were taught they didn't really need to nurse their babies, and they were being, millions of babies were raised on soy formula. Well, there's not one baby that I know of that can digest soy formula. So we see many people that were raised on these formulas that now as adults are having serious issues. But the biggest issue is they didn't get the good bacteria. So I truly believe that low flora is epidemic in the United States. It's a serious issue. That's why we always start there, because you think about it. In the 60s and 70s, you had more women going into the workforce. So they weren't nursing. They weren't home nursing. Okay, well, if that generation didn't get past that good bacteria, every generation since is more depleted than when you throw in the quality or the lack of quality of the American diet. It's riddled with antibiotics. It's riddled with synthetic estrogen, petrotoxins. You've got all, plus the sugar. All these things are destroying the good bacteria. So especially with babies, it's the first thing we put them on. And we've had many babies that come to us, they're diagnosed with, esophageal burn and all these things. And first thing we put them on. And it changes the health of the baby almost, overnight, because we're putting this good stuff in. So probiotics are always where we start. They're very important. Everybody needs them. And remember, they're talking to the brain. So we better have the good bacteria dictating to the brain and not the bad bacteria.
Yeah, that's
bad. And that's a whole nother conversation, which we won't get into right now. But, when we talk about mental health in the United States, every time I hear, somebody talking about mental health, and they never once talk about the American diet and what it's doing, because the brain starts here. If they're having a conversation about mental health and never address the diet, and they don't talk about the flora, I dismiss them immediately. Because let's face it, the whole world, everything shouldn't come to a pharmaceutical. Pharmaceuticals certainly have a place. We've seen pharmaceuticals help lots of people over the years, but it doesn't mean that everything in the human body is pharmaceutical dependent. So we always encourage people, do natural first.
Even though the pharmaceuticals would like you to think that.
Absolutely. And
that's the answer,
but
end all be all.
Absolutely.
But
and
it's
that's
not.
been the campaign all these years. Okay, so let's get started.
All right. And then we have a question. Actually, a couple of them.
Okay. So I'm going to start with 2 herbs.
What do we got
This
here?
is
All right.
this is marshmallow.
Marshmallow.
And not what you cook over your bonfire, the the fluffy.
Right.
This is from the mallow plant. And marshmallow and slippery elm. I brought capsules, even though here.
Okay.
Even though we mainly sell this herb more in the bulk. These herbs are known to be mucilage herbs, meaning they're slippery, they're slimy, so they help nourish the digestive tract, the mucosal lining of the digestive tract. This is why, in fact, you heard Brenda talk about last week. She talked about okra.
Yep.
Yeah. So all of these plants that have this mucosal, this mucousy feel to them, they're very nourishing and beneficial to the whole digestive system. Now, marshmallow is also known to be anti-inflammatory, not only for the GI tract, but also for the urinary system. So you see this herb in a lot of urinary formulas and prostate formulas for men. So it's a beautiful herb. We've had thousands of people on it. You can get it in capsule, extract. A lot of people that like drinking tea, they love drinking the tea. Usually we suggest, 2 to 3 cups a day, but it's very soothing. It's very calming. It's known to have anti-inflammatory activity for the GI tract, and so does the slippery elm. Now, slippery elm we know that it's very beneficial, especially for the deep bowel. You see it in a lot of formulas for deep bowel inflammation. So it's very calming. But you also will see slippery elm for the throat. A lot of throat sprays for sore throats have slippery elm in it. It's because it's calming and it calms that inflamed tissue. So that's where I wanted to start. We've never seen any contraindication with any meds ever. Doesn't mean it's not possible. Doesn't mean that someone as an individual might not do well with, any plant somebody can have a reaction to. We very, very, very rarely see these issues. So we've never seen any issues with these. They're wonderful.
So when I see this marshmallow, first thing I think is, well, I got to go to my book. I got to go to eating to my blood type. Is marshmallow okay for blood type A positive? I don't know. I'll have to look.
What? We'd have to look.
And that's what I do. I keep it with me almost all the time.
And something I just want to show everybody real quick. I brought a couple books. This is a book that we've sold for years at the store, Little Herb Encyclopedia. We keep it actively in the book department. And of all the herb books we have, this is the one we go to the most. It's alphabetical, very easy to read. You've got all these herbs in there. They give the bullet points of what it's known for. They'll give a little history. So, marshmallow has been known from, the Hippocrates talked about the benefit of marshmallow. So again, all of these beautiful plants have been on this planet for thousands of years. Many of them have been documented. So they have a very important place for us, especially in the 21st century. This is just a book I brought. You see what it's called?
The Scientific Validation of Herbal Medicine. So
when people say, oh, there's no research on all these herbs. Yes, there's tons of research. And actually, this is a cool book. The author, he signed it.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. So I've had this book for many, many years. I don't know if you can see that, but a lot of my books have been signed by the author, which I'm very grateful.
That's pretty
cool.
So
there's a lot of beautiful herb books. This is an easy one to start with because I never can show that. It's alphabetical. It's easy to read. A lot of people love this book. So I wanted to bring that and show you.
Okay. So I got to get to a question because we've got a couple.
Okay.
Let's see. Shan says she's been eating to her blood type for years. She's A positive. Her husband's O. So cooking can be a struggle sometimes. Do you have any suggestions for accommodating multiple types under one roof?
That's
tough.
Very good because
tough.
I'm an O blood type and my husband is an A, but he's a wannabe O. So it becomes a little challenging. And the other night I said to him, okay, I made you salmon, but you're O blood type wife. I'm cooking up a grass-fed steak and you just got to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you just have to do the best with it. And you'll notice, other than red meat, there's a lot of similarities of other things between an O and an A. So, neutral is on the A blood type. It's on the O blood type. Turkey. There's a lot of different fish that we can both do.
Salmon.
But it is a challenge.
It is. Sometimes you just got to cook 2 meals.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
It's just the way it is. And I got another question. What about diverticulitis? What can I do and take for that? That's from Carol.
So start with, again, find out your blood type. If you don't know it, get the Eat Right for the blood type. We always stock it. You can find it wherever. If you're in your neck of the woods, we ship all over the country if you need us to. And you start with your blood type. You start with a probiotic. And of course, I really, now, here's what I want to say. I love Vital Flora. It's truly it's become one of my favorite. But I will say, when you're dealing with an inflammatory situation like that, there are other wonderful probiotics on the market. We sell them. They're in enteric coated capsules, which of course, remember, is going to not break down high. It's going to get down deep. But I think it's important to start with a lower amount of flora, and you can work up to 1 capsule 60 billion. So a lot of times, if you we carry Solaray. They carry a great line of enteric coated. They're refrigerated only, and they make one that 1 capsule is 10 billion. So start low. Maybe you do 1 capsule for a week, and then you go to 2 capsules, because it's really based on 2 a day, which is 20 billion.
Which is what I do.
Yeah. But I like to, again, always start low. Let your body tell you what it's feeling. And remember, this is the biggest difference, I think, between natural healing and the way Western medicine is approaching things. We teach people, we all have an inner doctor. Tune in and listen.
Yeah.
So, pharmaceuticals are shutting down symptoms, which is the language of the body. We want to know the language, but you want to do things slowly and increase slowly. So start with a good probiotic, and I would start with slippery elm. I think that would be a wonderful product for you.
What else did you bring, Claudia, we want to mention?
All right. So, okay, next I'm going to show. So this is a wonderful product. This is from the black licorice root. And in this particular product, these are chewable capsules.
DGL.
DGL.
I have no idea how to say that name.
And glycyrrhizin, glycyrrhizin is the activity in the licorice root. Now, what I want to say is this. Licorice root is a beautiful herb. It has great benefits, been documented for thousands of years, and you will find licorice root in adrenal supportive products. You will also find it in respiratory supportive products. So it has great benefit for the respiratory and the adrenals. However, here's a however. In some people, it can elevate blood pressure. So if you have blood pressure, you don't want to do licorice root. If you have low blood pressure, we use it as a tool to help that, because it's helping support the adrenals. In this particular product, show them again, because this is a chewable tablet. The activity that can elevate blood pressure has been removed from these chewable tablets.
Okay.
And there's a lot of research on DGL. Read what this says right here.
Protects stomach lining and intestinal wall.
So we know very clearly that is anti-inflammatory for the esophageal tissue, for the stomach lining, and it can actually they're finding it gets into the upper small intestine. This is a wonderful product, but you have to like the taste of black licorice.
I like black licorice.
People that like black licorice will love chewing these tablets. If you don't, they won't. And we keep a bottle open. I always have people taste it to make sure, they can handle the taste. But if you like this product.
Can I open it and taste it?
I mean, sure, go ahead.
Okay.
If you like the taste of licorice and you're dealing with upper GI distress, this is a beautiful product. We've never seen it raise the blood pressure on anyone, but I always tell people that are on blood pressure meds, just make sure you're testing your blood sugar or your blood pressure. And again, we've never had one person come back and say, oh, it raised my blood pressure. But we always want to do things responsibly.
Ooh,
So I always,
it smells like black licorice.
It's black licorice. It's the oils from the licorice
So
root.
it's chewable, right?
It's chewable.
Okay, keep talking. I'll let you know.
So this is a wonderful product. For someone that does not like the taste of black licorice, Enzymatica makes a very nice product, if you show that.
Okay.
These are all plant enzymes. So very similar with anti-inflammatory activity for the stomach and all these things. But this particular product is berry flavored.
Ooh.
So for people that don't like licorice.
I love that. Tastes wonderful.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
So that's
one a day, 3 times a day?
Well, we usually suggest 1 to 2, 20 minutes before you eat. It doesn't have to be exact, but the oils, you want them to get in there before you eat. But remember, the whole goal, I always say this to people, the whole goal is not to need that product.
Right.
Right? The whole goal is to get rid of your trigger foods, make your gut happy through the flora and all these other things, and not need that product. However, while you're using it, you chew them about 20 minutes before you eat.
Okay.
If somebody wakes up in the middle of the night with distress, you can chew those.
What do you mean distress?
Well, if they're burning, if they've eaten something and now it's the middle of the night and they're in stomach distress.
See, I don't have a lot of stomach issues.
Yeah, well, you're doing what you need to do to not.
There you go. Maybe I don't need that product.
But
I opened it for nothing.
But remember, some people, inflammation is everywhere through the body.
Right.
Some people get hit inflammatory issues in the brain. That's the brain fog.
Oh, that's me.
That'll
help.
They get hit with, the mood swings. That's hitting the endocrine system. Some people are burning in the gut. So everyone's very different. Some people get joint issues after they eat certain foods. Their sinuses will get full. Ringing of the ears. That's a biggie. A lot of people with tinnitus, when they change their diet, it goes away.
Yeah. All right, we got to start motoring through these because we have more questions, and sadly we're running out of time.
I wanted to bring a couple other. This is good old-fashioned papaya enzymes, and of course, papaya contains papain, which is known to not only it helps digestion, but a lot of people chew these just to soothe. So you'll find papain. This is a digestive.
So if you're having stomach issues, instead of reaching for a Tums, you reach for one of these.
Or the DGL or the Acid Soothe. These are your tools. Remember, we're teaching people to put new tools in their toolbox.
I like it.
And I always tell everybody, I've said this for years, if you're a carpenter and you don't have the right tools in your toolbox, you cannot build anything.
Nope.
So natural tools will always be what the body is designed to resonate with. That's why they've been on the planet these tools have been on the planet for thousands of years. So we're teaching people tools for their health toolbox.
Okay, this one.
This is a digestive enzyme. This is very good for A's, by the way. This is all plant-based.
Digestive Gold.
Digest Gold.
Digest Gold, yes.
This particular one, we suggest 1 per meal, and it starts to help the stomach work better. Okay. So that's what digestive enzymes are doing. There's a lot of them. There were too many to bring, too many to talk about. I just brought a few. This particular one, this actually has hydrochloric acid in it. Hydrochloric acid is what we all produce in the stomach.
This is super enzymes.
Super enzymes. And A's generally do better with plant-based. This is what we've witnessed over the years. O's, they oftentimes need a little boost to their hydrochloric acid. So I wanted to bring both. I want to say, if ever you do an enzyme with hydrochloric acid, it must be taken with food. You don't want it to sit in the mouth.
Right.
Because remember, we are all designed to produce hydrochloric acid. It's the main acid in the stomach. And when the stomach is healthy and happy, that lining is strong and the hydrochloric acid does not break it down. It's getting broken down from all the junk, decades of eating junk and drinking pop and pasteurized this and that and sugar and, it's the whole story. So at any rate, when the stomach is happy, that hydrochloric acid gets kicked out. And what it's meant to do is digest mainly protein, but we also know that it protects the stomach from allowing critters, if you will,
Mhm.
to pass into the intestinal tract. But remember, A's naturally produce lower levels. That's why they don't do well with red meat. They don't have the gut strength to break it down.
Hmm.
O's produce higher levels. That's why we have the ability to break down red meat. Now, I will say for A's, we've worked with A's that wanted to eat red meat and they were doing hydrochloric acid. Not a good thing to do
No.
because you can't force your gut to do something it's not designed to do. So
Okay.
just wanted to put
All
that
right.
out
What's
there.
this last one?
This last one is this is a very good product.
Digest away.
Digest away. We use this often for people that have stagnation in the colon, better known as constipation. And again, the bowel movements are very, very, very important. If food is going in and it's not coming out to 12 to 14 hours later,
Then there's a problem.
Then there's a problem. So I just brought this because this only has 25 milligrams of hydrochloric acid in it. So we use this on a lot of people that are non-meat eating that, might be constipated, have a little, so a low level like that is fine. But remember, you always take a product with hydrochloric acid only with food. This is very important.
All right. Here's a question from Kelly. She says, do you recommend anything for COPD or respiratory issues?
Well, yes. And there are products that research has specifically shown, like boswellia is a beautiful Ayurvedic herb. We know that it's anti-inflammatory and it can help with respiratory inflammation. So there's a lot you can do for that. Again, it's always changing the diet first and foremost,
right?
Because remember, especially with asthmatic type symptoms, right in the yeast books, you read it. When people are fungal, which I think most Americans are, how could they not be? Their good flora is down, the critters are up, and they're eating the American diet. Foods cause inflammation. So that's why we always address food first. But you might want to consider boswellia. It's a beautiful herb. There's a lot of research on it.
And it's cool to say boswellia.
Boswellia. And of course, there's other herbs. I mean, we have respiratory formulas that actually help to support the respiratory system.
All right. Before we're done, please share the video. The podcast will be in podcast form by Monday at Claudia's website. And next week, what are we doing next week? Do we have a guest, or is it just you and I?
Next week, we have Stephen Harkins. He's with North American Urban Spice.
Okay.
One of the leading companies in the United States on oregano oil. They use a very specific strain. We've sold it for many, many years and have seen wonderful results. It's highly antifungal, but there's other benefits. So we're going to be learning about oregano oil next week.
All right. So make sure you tune by 11 a.m. on Facebook, or the following Monday. I always put it on podcast.
Yep.
All right. Like always, Claudia, I'm giving you the last word.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So, and Denny and I are very grateful for all of you tuning in. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we're, I say every day, I'm very blessed and I'm very grateful to be on this journey my entire life. My mother raised my brothers and I with this beautiful awareness. She was, probably one of the original health nuts. But she understood food is powerful, and it's not only nourishing our body, but there's a very important spiritual connection that we have to our food. And when we're disconnected from it, like we have become in the United States, you have people mindlessly eating all this stuff, it truly is harming millions of people. So food is beautiful. Honor it. Honor the people that grow it for us. Support your local family farms. A lot of our farmlands are being purchased by big corporations that don't care about you, me, your kids, our families. It's this. So support your local family farms as much as you can that are raising food with integrity and love. And again, for me, it all goes back to the love. My mother raised us with that. Food is truly an expression of love, and being healthy is the end result of how we nourish our body. So as always, keep the faith, shine your light, share your love, and, keep the faith. Peace.